You should just kind of like lay in it, and then I'll close the hood, and it'll look like it's eating you.
I can do that. I feel perfect.
I know you. We fit you in there last time to check the height. Yeah, because we were worried about how close our amp rack got to that gasket. Dude, you're driving me crazy with that, man. Pull the silver thing off and plug it into the drill.
Oh.
You're just like doing it the hard way. Yeah. How's everybody doing today? Greetings from Montana. Greetings from Florida. Hey from the UK. What's up? Yep. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys. Bit cold for Michigan. Oh, Jesus. Did I even read that right? Honestly, I just saw cold in Michigan. I didn't read anything else.
What's
Afternoon, guys, from the bitter cold Michigan. I mean, I feel like it's like you say cold in Michigan, enough said.
I mean, it's cold.
Enough said. I mean, Minnesota. Thanks for the tips. Okay. Where's he going? He's going to get some more parts for this. We're working on a Porsche Boxer today. We're doing our upgrade, as we call it. This is the Morel upgrade that we do to this. We've shown it before. This is the Morel Maximo two-way system that replaces this nightmare up in the dash. Actually, this one's not too bad. It's like it still has surround on it, which is amazing. But this is the upgrade that we do. Fits in there, looks really nice. Mounts into place. So that'll go up into the dash. We have both of those done. This one was a little bit different from the previous one of these we did, in that the doors are a little bit smaller, so it changed the way that the mid-bass goes into the door. The previous, there was a bigger bracket that went over this. We still have to basically do the same thing where we cut the top half of the door this off because it has a little tiny 5 1/4 in it. Let me see if I still have them here in the dumpster. Yeah, so it has this little tiny 5 1/4 in it, and we remove this guy out of there and we just cut it off along the seam, and that goes in the trash can. And so this was the previous 911 previous car, as it were. This went onto the door and allowed us to fit the speaker. And then this is the newer one, or whatever this car is. So after you remove that, this is basically the template that goes on. So now we have both of those. But what we add to it after that, obviously, is we go in and if you'll notice, see how the speaker is flush. So we've added in a bevel in a groove so that this is nice and smooth along here. That gets that in because there was room in there to do it. Believe it or not, this was actually a little bit wider, so we were able to push the speaker in a little bit further, which means we're going to have plenty of room for clearance, plenty of room for it to move. And then this is a 1/2 inch piece here that gets screwed in to this. And then there's foam gaskets as well as sound treatment to finish it off and make sure that there's no air leakage or anything like that. And then you still retain the factory clip. But yeah, so there's that one over there done. I just got done moving the air conditioner down from the top to this. I hate it. It's a pain in the butt. Definitely a pain in the butt, but it's done now. He's getting a ILX W650, which is actually really cool. It's a short chassis, which if you're doing one of these Porsches, I strongly recommend a short chassis radio. It makes installation so much nicer. As you can see, it's barely nothing, but because we're going with a short chassis that frees up the room, we're actually mounting the 3-way crossovers into the dash. So this is the factory bracket that would normally hold the radio. There's usually some little metal pieces that come off here that are riveted in. We'll remove the rivets. Let me go around to this side. And so this guy here will go up in like this, which is really hard to do with one hand. And there you go. So hidden up in the dash will be the passive crossovers. So instead of putting them up underneath the hood, we're trying to get away from putting stuff under the hood if we can, just because it noise and whatnot, it's just a hassle. So for this, the speakers are all going to be right here, so we have to run our own wires to them anyways. So this will get tucked up in here. That radio will have plenty of room in the dash. And then Fernando came up with a new spot to mount the amplifier, which is, there's screws in here, but it's up underneath the seat. He's already made a bracket. It's an ACM 2.300 audio control. He's already ran the wires, and I think he's already got the fuse holder in. Yeah, he does. Look at that. He's way ahead of me on this one. So he's got the fuse holder mounted in place. It's all hooked up. You're kicking butt today, man. I'm glad one of us is working.
I know. I mean, has to go, right?
So, great work on the mount of those crossovers. Sweet. Yeah, yeah. Once, because we were gonna mount them underneath the seat, and I was like, wait a minute, we have room here in the dash. Let's see how that works. You know, because even though we do a lot of these, it's always nice to change things up a little bit, try to come up with a better process for doing things. But I will say the Morels fit beautifully. I mean, isn't this sexy? I love this mount. I love it. I love how this just, see, if you notice, the tweeter sticks down a little bit further, and that is because it's a stack fab mount, and then of course it mimics the shape of the tweeter, and then the little 2.5 goes in from the front, and of course it's all threaded into place with nuts, and then it bolts in via the factory. There is a little bit of modification. You have to do the factory bracket. You have to make these holes here a little bigger so that this will slide over it, and then there is some sanding you have to do at the back here to make those screws go in. But as you can see, it's all nice and tight up in there, so it pushes all that sound out through the top, which is what we're looking for. So kudos there. Lots of fun. I'm beginning to like these cars.
Really?
Yeah. Just because we've done so many of them, it's almost like it's just, I mean, I don't think they're there yet. But Epicenter Minis yet? Not yet. They're on pre-order right now, but don't pre-order it yet, because I'll have to call him and find out what's going on with that, because we do have something coming up that we're going to be doing with them. The ground isn't in yet, so.
Yeah, oh, I know.
Yeah. I was going to say, you want to put the thing back in there? Put the tire in? Hola, Dean and Fernando.
Hey.
Which amp are you installing? So we're doing this guy right here, because there's no rear speakers, so we're just going to do an ACM 2.300 on them. So they give us nice, lots of power. So it'd be cool. Power up these Morels. There you go. So we're just trying to get as much of this done as we can. Are you going to cover that tweeter? Cover it with what? You can't even see it. This is it. This is what it looks like. There's the tweeter. So it's covered. Got this.
Got you covered.
Got you covered, man. But yeah, so there's the Morels fit wonderfully in this. And yeah, so this is kind of nice.
Time, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we have that mount now pretty solid. I mean, it isn't, you know, the only thing that's a little bit tough, and I think next time I do this, I'm going to add in a little bit of room for this terminal here, because you have to go in after the fact and grind it. And I could easily just hit it with the laser, shape it a little bit differently, and that would allow this to compensate for that. Because I don't want to make this out of 1/8 inch, but other than that, it's pretty sexy. It's so much fun. Dean, how was Disney? Disney was wonderful, Bobby. Thank you for asking. Nice and compact system. Exactly. Oscar.
Hey, bro.
I love doing 996 and 997s. That's what he's saying.
69s, whatever you like, bro.
69, 67, whatever works for you, man.
Yeah.
No, the empty hole where the stock tweeter goes. Oh, yeah. I haven't decided yet. I'm not, it's like, I don't know. They haven't gone in yet. I might, yeah, it's kind of bugging me. Yeah, I know. So I think I might tomorrow morning before we put these in, just laser a plug to just go in there, because like we have tons of them. I was looking to see if I already had one done, but I didn't, because I mean we have, oh, that one's really close. Yeah, because we have like tons of these things just laying around. Yeah, so it's off by just a hair. Yeah, it was kind of bugging me too. So I think tomorrow morning when I come in, I'll just either, if we have, probably tomorrow morning, I'll just laser a plug and snap it in there, and that'll be it. Because if I make it out of 1/8 inch, it'll just snap right into place. My OC kills me. I know. We rode Web Slinger Ride. I think it sucks. Well, that's a shame. I mean, we rode the Sue finally got to go on Rise of the Resistance, so that was kind of cool. She had a great time. I think it's the best ride ever made. I have no sound, but I have power. What do that mean? It could mean anything. That's a wonderful thing. That you have a digital multimeter. You could probably figure out what's going on. You need to find out first off, do you have signal coming into the amplifier? And if you do, then chances are with no signal coming out, you need to be able to test your input voltage to see what you have coming off. Play something like pink noise, take your digital multimeter, unless you have an IRTA2. If you have the new IRTA tool, the tool that we sell, that is an electrical RTA tool, this guy right here. And what makes it really cool, did I not bring a second one in? What makes it really cool on that is that it has an RC input and a high level input. So you can literally test the outputs from your radio, which are the inputs to the amplifier, and the outputs of the amplifier right on an RTA and see what the hell is going on. It makes troubleshooting super easy. But because you don't have that, hopefully you have a digital multimeter. So if you play pink noise, that's going to be a constant voltage output. Take your digital multimeter, put it to AC, test the tips of the RCAs, the shield, and the tip. See if you have sound, turn the volume up and down. See if your voltage fluctuates. If it does, it means you have input. Next, unscrew the speakers. Same thing. Put it to the output of the amplifier. See if you have any movement there with the volume up and down. If you have none, there's something wrong with the amplifier. If you do, then next you're going to move on to the speakers. Breast tour location in Tundra, sail panel or dash corner. If it's a JBL system, I go for the sail panel because you're going to put that mid-range up in the top of the dash. If it is not, I'm going up in the top of the dash. I want to add 4 DS18s for mid-bass and 2 tweeters. How do I do that? I don't know. We don't really do that kind of stuff. What's up, Dean and Fernando?
What's up?
I got my RTA 3 yesterday. Thank you. Oh, no, thank you for ordering it. How many DSP channels do I need for 2 3-way sets? New to this, and I don't fully understand how to count match DSP channels to amp channels. All right, good question. And it really comes down to how you're planning on crossing over the speakers. So for example, like this is a 3-way set, and it's a tweeter, a mid-range, and a mid-bass, and the passive crossovers are a 3-way passive crossover. So basically we have an input here, and then these are all my outputs. So this would be passive. For this, that's really only one channel, because we're going to take 2 channels out of the DSP, go into this, or actually out of 2 channels out of the DSP into the amplifier, and then out of the amplifier into this, and that would be passive system. If you're going to do a full active system, meaning you're not going to use any of this stuff here, then it's a channel for channel, meaning if you have 2 tweeters, 2 mid-range, and 2 mid-bass, that's 6 channels out of the DSP. If you have 2 pairs of 2 pairs of 2-ways, that'd be 4. That'd be 4. If you have 2 pairs of 3-ways, that would be 12, or 6 pairs. So, for example, if you're going to do a 3-way up front, there's 3 pairs of channels, 3 more pairs of channels if you're going to do the same in the rear. That's 6 12-channel DSP. There's not that many 12-channel DSPs out there. There are a few. There's some 14-channel DSPs, because you'll probably want that in order to next do the subwoofer, so you'll need another set for those. So now, you just kind of got to figure out how you're going to work that. We love you guys here in Iceland. Awesome.
Thank you, man.
I want to go there. Can I add a DSP and amp to a 2016 400 Limited with JBL paired with Pioneer 9-inch floating head unit? Of course you can. Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to replace the amplifiers also, and But you know, you can, if you're gonna gut it, yeah, you're golden. If you're just gonna like put the radio in a DSP and then try to go into the factory amplifier, not gonna work. It's 2B2 audio, many 3-way sets. And there again, if you're trying to go full active means channel per pair, you know, channels per pair. So 2 channels, 2 speakers, 2 channels, 2 speakers. If you're going to go passive, then those passive crossovers, it's just 2 channels. I don't think there's a day that goes by without sirens because the fire department is like right there. So it's really annoying when we're filming because we have to stop and wait for them to get far enough down the road so you don't hear it. But yeah, it's going to happen at some point during the day. JL Audio Tweak 88 or AudioControl DM608. I'm going with the 608. Yeah. Any word on AudioControl Micro Epicenter? Yeah, so we're just waiting for what the... You can pre-order them if you want now. However, I'm asking you to wait only because we're working on a deal with them right now. So if you use our coupon code when we get it, you know. So hopefully I'll know by the end of the week what it is. It'll be fun. It'll be worth the wait. That's all I got to say. Maybe. Might not be. I don't know. Have you improved the horrible sound on a 2022 Outback? I can't say that we've done a 2022 yet, but we have done some of... Not, I don't know if we've done the Outback. I know we've done like the Imprezas. What?
I ate there.
You ate at Outback?
Yeah.
Bloomin' Onion. Good afternoon, guys. Is the air compressor off? Yeah, actually, we don't turn it on much anymore, to be honest with you, just because we don't use it now that like Milwaukee's stepped up their game and they have a bunch of like battery tools. We don't really use the air compressor for much anymore. Audison Bit 1 or 608? That's not even a question, man. 608. Bit 1, no. Now, the Nove or the Virtuoso, yeah, those are both really solid pieces. I think I'd still do the 608 unless I needed that 9th channel that the Nove has. But if you're like Virtuoso or 608, I'm going Virtuoso. How do you test if you have good ground? Digital multimeter set to continuity, and then you go to your factory ground underneath the hood, which would be your battery right here. Go right here, and you go to where you think your good ground is, and you meter the resistance between the two. If you want to get a good idea of what it should be, then simply, you know, go to your ground here and go to wherever one of your factory ground points is and look at that number, and that'll tell you what the factory assumes is a good ground. So then your number should be really close to that wherever you decide. It is going to be a little bit different because obviously the further you are away from it, you will get slight fluctuations, but yes, that would, you know, you always want to test, you know, a fixed, meaning, so if I measure from here to here, I'm going to have a number, and then I can kind of venture out and I'll find out what it is, and if it's, you want it to be as close to whatever the factory resistance is here, out wherever you decide to go. If it's some obscenely crazy number, then don't use it. Move closer to the battery, or run a wire to the battery. No sound? Want to? What's up, the big difference? AC Epicenter and the Mini and the regular. What's the big difference with AudioControl Epicenter Mini and regular? The Mini is a quarter of the size. It's a high level to low level input, and it has load resistors built into it. As far as functionality goes, it's identical. There's no difference in functionality. They're just finally making it smaller. Milwaukee all day, right? Everything about going to Disney Run. Actually, I'll be doing the Princess Run.
Ooh, Princess!
I'll be doing the Princess Run with Haley. I think it's the week after we get back from Vegas.
Are you wearing a tutu?
I will not be wearing a tutu.
Really?
Yeah, she asked me to do it with her, and I was like, yeah, sure. So we'll be doing that. So it'll be fun. We've done it before. It's on the Boring Life of Dean Haley. We have the last time we did it, which was a couple years ago. She's done a couple since then. I have not, just because it's just not worked out that well. And she was like, I want to do it on my own. And I was like, okay, do whatever you want, man. So, have you guys listened to the JL TW3 series subs, and how do they sound? Is that the shallow mount?
It does the shallow mount.
Oh, those sound great. They sound great. Dude, listen.
Oh, man.
JL makes subs, bro. That is their thing. There's no question. JL subs don't suck. All right? They are awesome. They have... I don't think I've ever had a bad experience ever. Maybe with a W0, just because it's like, really, guys? But even still, that with the right amount of power and enclosure still beats like a just smacks it. Smacks it.
Yes.
New word. 2021 Mazda CX-5 GX4 speakers. How do I integrate? I also want to add components to the dash into bounce off dash, or how? No, that's fine. The bounce off the dash works. As far as integration goes, there is no one that makes an interface for it, unfortunately. So what that's going to leave you with is, first off, you have to find out how many channels of audio the radio is putting out, whether it's a premium or non-premium. If it's a premium, it's still going to be the basic thing, but you might want to change your overall outcome. If it's a basic, there's basically 3 levels of installation as far as... Basically, technically, there's like 3 levels of integration out of a factory radio if there is no Amp Pro or AR. And that is with a high quality, high level to low level adapter. In this case, we are showing you AudioControl, but not Fortinet. All right, hopefully we're back. You live? Can you check?
No, you're buffering.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm hanging.
Okay, I think you're back.
I think I'm back. All right. What this is going to do, and why you want a bigger high level to low level like this, is because it does it electronically. So that's going to, whatever's coming in, this is not going to dirty the signal. It's going to keep it as clean as possible. So this is your basic high level to low level. Not basic. This is your high level to low level. There's many versions of this. This is the LC7i, very popular. From there, you're going to move into something like this. This is the LCQ1. This is a high level to low level adapter. Same thing. But now you have a basic EQ. This is for somebody that's scared of the next step. And I don't mean scared in a bad way. Just like, we all understand that, like, when you go to full DSP, sometimes it can be overwhelming. And it's like, I don't really want to deal with this. I want... So AudioControl makes this, which has an EQ for front, an EQ for rear, and an EQ for sub with Acubase. It is a great... way to integrate into a factory radio. They also make the DQ61, which is a version of this that introduces time alignment through, it's a manual time alignment, which is really neat. Now, of course, the best way to integrate it into a factory radio is with some form of a DSP. And the reason why you pick the DSP, now this has high level and low level inputs, just these are all high level. So if you ever decide to switch out to some form of aftermarket, or you want to add in Bluetooth, or you want to add a different source unit, you can do that with a DSP. It's kind of hard with those. But this will give you the ability to tune everything. So you can take what's coming, and you have 30 bands of equalization for all channels, depending on size. And now, obviously, that's the AudioControl. But you'll have full equalization capability. Some will have de-equalization capability. There's a lot of things you can do with a DSP that, but every time you go up, you get better. But the minimum would be some form of an electronic high level to low level. I mean, it takes power and ground. And some people get confused. Like, they'll see like the pack LP72, and they'll be like, oh, it's got power and ground, so it must be electronic. It's not. That's actually in there for just the remote turn-on generation. It is a passive high-level to low-level adapter. You want to stay away from passives if you can. All right, a couple more, and then we got to get back to work. Oh, wow. All right, I'm way down here. All right. Turn up them gains. Always turn up them gains. Hello, fellas. I have a DM608, and I'm the annoying guy with the 10 speaker Civic. Question, LOL. Car got totaled. Oh
no,
that sucks. Time for a DM810 and solve all your problems. But no, that sucks, bro. Oh man, terrible. That's no good.
No, not at all.
I have a 2008 Acura MDX, and there is no radio harness available that I am aware of. Any ideas? It's actually not the radio harness that's the problem. It's that no one. It's still going to be a standard Honda harness.
Ooh, look at that one. I like his name now.
Okay. Who is? Oh, that's Chris.
Yes.
Oh,
First Tech Chris.
First Tech Chris.
Woo. I like it.
It's not that there isn't one available. It's just there's really no upgrade course available for it, more than likely. And or if it's a premium audio, there's probably no harness there to get into it. Or it's a multi-piece, which I don't think they are. You might be surprised. You might want to pull out the radio. I don't know what you're planning on doing to it, but you might want to pull out the radio. One of the things that's really cool that Metra does now, if you go to metraonline.com, is they have pictures of all their harnesses. So you can match up harnesses, which makes it really nice. So it's an Acura, which means Honda. They have a search bar at the top. I know, what's a search bar? And you can type in things like Honda plugs and stuff like that, or Acura plugs, and kind of work your way through, and maybe you can find one that matches up, because they don't always list things if there's no use for them, that they see anyways. Sedan. Question, sedan. No wall, 218s. How do I get the loud up front? Is it just like positioning or the like? I mean, if you're serious, the whole idea of getting sound up front is you have to tunnel it forward. Whether that be no wall and you just use the interior of the car as a wall, meaning you sound treatment the crap out of it, but you have to somehow tunnel the sound forward. Whether you do it naturally with the inside of the car and a ton of sound treatment, or if you build some form of a horn that pushes the sound forward. Either way, that's how you get the bass forward. Tell Macho Man Fernando what's up.
Frame stereo, bro.
Yeah. Well, hey there, guys. Oh, that was Chris. Yeah. What's the best way to get a sub output on a 2017 Honda CR-V? Any plug-and-play harnesses I could use?
Honda CR-V?
Well, okay, so if it doesn't have the factory sub, then, I mean, plug-and-play harness? No, you really don't need one. I mean, you're just going to grab one of the front speakers, and that's where you're going to get your bass from. There again, it's... if you're in no hurry, I'd wait for the Epicenter Micro just because it's going to really help you in that particular vehicle. But otherwise, an LC2i would at least get you going. No, because he's going to have bass roll-off or stuff. I love it when it pauses due to poor connection. Anyways, that's a clue for me to get back to work. You guys, listen, have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Tomorrow would be the day. All right, guys. See ya.
Guys. This is what I have.
That's what you have? Pause due to poor connection.
Good. Take your Wi-Fi off. You know.
I know.
Just
I don't know what to tell you.
don't tell me.
I'm not telling you. Hey guys, what's happening? Fernando's just finishing up an amplifier here and a Volkswagen Jetta.
I get it.
Yeah. So he's getting, just to answer the question, what's going on? Have y'all done any installs in a 2020 Camry SE?
Yes.
We have? 2022. Not 2022. 2020, yes. Nightshade. No, I haven't done that one yet. Hello guys, this man always working. Well, somebody's got to hold the camera. Besides, I already did my part.
It's funny.
What? What? No, what's funny?
No, you know, when you watch YouTube, for example, like Sebastian is like, oh my god, he went to the store by himself.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, who do you think is grabbing the camera, dude?
Well, you know, it's eyeballs. It's a floating camera. One day that'll happen. So this is a Rockford 750.1 R2, powering two P2s in the factory box. Wires, of course, braided, loomed, all sexy there. He's taking his sweet time with this. Already did the fuse holder up underneath the hood. That's done, and I've mounted the bass knob into the removable fuse panel that he's finishing up the zip tie. And he, of course, did the amplifier in this one because I was on the phone. So
2 hours.
Well, actually, was I on the phone? No, what was I doing? I don't remember what I was doing. Yeah, I guess I was on the phone.
Talking on the phone all this time.
Yeah. When should I mount my door speaker amp? Where should I mount my door speaker amp on my Pathfinder? I mean, obviously, you're going to have to figure out how big the amplifier is, how much room you have. I'm not looking at the car, but there is a decent amount of room up underneath the seats usually, just like in this car. You know, this is a really nice spot to mount amplifiers. They don't get too hot. They usually work great. So now if you have a giant surfboard of an amplifier, well, there's no magical spot. So you're going to have to figure that one out. Hello, Morel. How are you?
Hey.
Hey, Dean. When you talk about filters, are they on the wire or out of the head unit? Ooh, good question. I like that you call them filters as opposed to crossovers, because believe it or not, depending on who you talk to, if you're talking to an engineer and you call it a crossover, and he's like an amplifier engineer, he's going to look at you like, those are filters, bro. Those are not crossovers. Because technically the crossover point is where, when you're looking at like a class A, B amplifier, it's where the upper and lower, where the positive and negative sine wave overlap is technically the crossover point. We've been talking a lot this week on the channel about adjustable bias. And what that's doing is that's increasing the overlap at that crossover. Back to filters though, a couple different options as far as what you have for filters. Where a lot of people get confused is when they do a set of components, and we happen to have the cool crossover display here on the board. And we'll take what most people end up with. So you have your amp input here, your tweeter output, and your woofer output. What this crossover is designed to do is give a bottom for the tweeter, meaning the lowest frequency that this tweeter can play at so that you don't blow the tweeter, and a top for the mid-range, meaning we want to stop this from playing tweeter sound. We don't want this to we don't want this to compete with this tweeter. So we put a low pass crossover at the top of the mid-range to block the sound that it is playing so that these two can play their sounds accordingly. Now, the problem you run into is that means that there's no bottom or high pass crossover for this woofer. That when you have a high pass and a low pass crossover, that's called a band pass. Means you stop how high it can play and stop how low it will play. So the radio or amplifier is going to provide that high pass filter for this mid-range, completing the band pass crossover. So when it comes to the filter that you want to use, whether it be out of a DSP or an amplifier or a radio, that's entirely up to you as far as which one you want to use. Now, I will tell you this, when using an amplifier's crossover, you get to spin the wheel on the donkey, so to speak. Anyways, you get my point. Because you're never really going to truly find that unless you have a crossover calibrator. And you can sit there and go, I got it. So using the one on the radio is kind of advantageous because, like, if you I want 80 hertz, you can pick 80 hertz. You can set your slope, 12 dB, 18 dB, 24 dB, whatever you want, and it makes it super easy to do. Now, if you're going to go full active, that setting those filters, that becomes a lot harder when just using a straight amplifier, because there again, you have this magical knob that you're just hoping, and it's got like these numbers, and you're like, yeah, I'm close, but you don't want to be close on a tweeter. You want to be precise on a tweeter. That's why DSP is way better for those type things, unless there again you have a crossover calibrator. I don't know if that answered your questions, but I hope I said enough to where somewhere in there was the answer you were looking for. I'm going to do a small 5-channel SCAR amp on factory Chevy Equinox speakers. Let me know, make them louder. If that's the goal, mission accomplished, Space Ranger. What's a good subwoofer and amp for Honda Accord? So, there again, I don't know how much bass you want. You're kind of asking a really generic question, and there's a broad spectrum of answers that could work for you. Say, for example, this individual here that owns this Jetta that Fernando is finishing up, he wanted a little bit more bass than the normal person might want, but not enough bass to consider it a bass head. So he's got the R2 750.1 powering two P212s in the back. this thing is going to be super bass heavy because everything else is factory. Now, if you're just looking to complement the factory system, something like 110, 112 and a ported enclosure with something like a Key 501 off of the factory head unit may be enough bass for you. You may be okay with a Rockford P300 10 or 12 and the fully amplified, because we sell a ton of those. They sound great. That might be all you need. So you might also be like the guy last week that, he bought 2 Sundown 12s with a Salt 4K and a big-ass Gately box.
Woo!
Each person's a little bit different. Kind of figure out what your desires are and find something that matches up. Yo, what's up? It's Hi-Fi Vega in the house.
Oh,
hey, guys, you know what today is, Fernando?
Today is Thursday.
What does that mean?
Thursday night.
What does that mean?
What's the name of the...
Reverse polarity?
There you go.
Side jag?
Oh, yes.
Side jag?
2 for 1. You get 2 for 1.
No, it's just 2. Yeah. So tonight on the Hi-Fi Vega Network is reverse polarity. And we're going to talk about some car audio. And all right, sorry about that pause. This week is having a hard time staying connected to Instagram.
Do the right thing?
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Do the Right Thing. The movie.
Oh.
Not actually doing the right thing. So, normal install videos on YouTube. Everything is 1 hour now.
What? Normal install videos?
I mean,
I don't get that.
No.
What does that mean?
Everything is not 1 hour now. So, all right, for those of you playing at home that haven't figured out the layout for the YouTube channel, Monday morning is this show. We take all these shows, we combine them into one long video for the people that want to listen to it as like a podcast or whatever. Tuesday morning is the rebroadcast of the Monday night Facebook show. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are all edited videos. This week we've had an amp dyno of the Ground Zero GZ
Uranium
UA 6.1200 6.200 amplifier. And then yesterday you got me wiring the amplifier up on the amp board along with Fernando installing the speakers into his car. Next week you'll get the conclusion of that. Tomorrow you're going to get an IRTA2 video. But the content constantly changes as far as what you get. I mean, we were on vacation for 3 weeks at the end of the year, into the beginning of this year. So technically we've had two weeks back, and there's been constant flow of content ever since, as far as, it never stops. We were gone a lot towards the end of the year last year, and we just did compilation videos, which were the hour long. But no, that is by no means what's going to happen on a normal basis. So, but yeah, I mean, there's always content going on. Greetings from the Middle East. Weird question. I get a loud, deep bass when I open the passenger door. It's a Grand Cherokee. So I'm assuming you have some form of a subwoofer put into the car. And if you do, did they tap into it via high-level to low-level adapter? If they tapped into it via high-level to low-level adapter, my guess would be is they tapped into the passenger rear door, which was the wrong thing to tap into. But if that's in fact what they did, if you're using a high-level to low-level adapter, and it's an inexpensive high-level to low-level adapter at that, what'll happen is when you swing the door like this, or when you close it, the speaker moves. All right? And it's enough force to where it is going to activate the DC offset if the car has it, as well as it's now moving, so it's sending a signal into the amplifier, and it will cause the amplifier to go boom. So reality is this is a bad speaker in that car to connect to. You'd either want to go to that speaker, or if it has a factory subwoofer, the factory subwoofer. But not this speaker, because this one actually doesn't put out as much bass as the two front speakers do, even on the non-amplified system. You also might want to find out what they use for high level to low level, if in fact it is done through that, which I'm assuming it is, because that's the only time that would happen, and get a better one, something like an AudioControl or
LC1i.
LC1i, WaveTech, or anything like that. And if they're using the one on the amplifier, you might want to switch to an external. Hola, Oscar, what's going on? Heading to picnic. Afternoon, guys. Yo, yo, yo. Evening, guys. Chilling, getting my daily dose of 5-star. Gotta love that. Let's see, moving on. Boom, boom, boom. What's up, dudes? No shorts this week? Always shorts. Dude, I only own like 2 pairs of pants. Fernando always wears pants. He's got skinny legs and it freaks him out.
I own 3 pair of shorts.
You own more than 3 pairs of shorts. You got lots of shorts. Just don't wear them here. He's the smart one. He doesn't have cut up legs, and you know he wants to be sexy when he gets older.
That's right. Woo!
Not me. Y'all installed the new Gately 12s? No, we haven't, but I'm sure they're amazing.
No, but the 8s. Remember the one the Chevy came with the 8s?
Yeah, but I guess he's got a new 12. It'd be nice if he made like a 1.8 ported enclosure. I wonder if he does.
He made so much.
That'd be cool for your car. Did you make the Epicenter Mini announcement? We have not made the Epicenter Mini announcement. I need to get with, what's today, Thursday? I'll call him tomorrow and find out, or call him tonight. They're 3 hours behind us, so no winter here. God, no, right? Well, I mean, not true. It was really cold. I'm in Lake City, Florida. It's been the 20s here. Oh, man, dude. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's where my in-laws live, Lake City. So, yeah. Well, no, they live just outside of Lake City, but up that way. Quick question. When will you guys be restocking the amp rack rulers? He should have them now. I sent him rulers a week ago?
Yeah,
last week. Yeah, last week. Yeah. So they should be there by now. He just got a fresh inventory. He got like 50 or 60 of them that we sent him. So yeah. He's definitely...
Call them or go to the website.
Yeah, they're definitely in stock now. But yeah, they probably showed up...
Oh!
Yeah, they're there now. They have to be there now. But yeah, no, I didn't realize we were out of them. He just kind of called me and was like, hey, we're out. And then it takes a couple of days, and then we ship them out. But yeah, no, they should be in stock right now. Sorry for any inconveniences on that one. However, what we do have in stock here, which you can get at DNF Tool Drawer, is the IRTA2. That's right. If you guys want to have the coolest tool in the world, the IRTA2, they're available. You'll get a video tomorrow thanks to one of the Instagram questions asked here yesterday. Someone asked, hey, how do I test my amplifier if the light's on, but I have what we call lights on, nobody's home, but lights are on and there's no sound output? Tonight or tomorrow, you're going to see a video on how to use the IRTA2 to do what we described in that conversation. We're going to film that, and you'll have that so you can kind of see one more thing that you can do with an IRTA2. It's definitely worth the money. Electric bill going down, no AC running. Right? Don't worry, we'll make up for it this winter. That's for sure. Hi, I'm not getting any sub-bass frequencies on RTA with pink noise. I have a 10-inch W3. Is that normal? No, that is not normal. The question that I would ask is, where are you getting your source from? Meaning, what are you tapped into in order to get that bass signal? Are you tapped into a factory speaker, or are you tapped into an aftermarket radio? My guess would be a factory speaker. If you're not getting any bass out of that speaker, we need to move to a different speaker and start trying to figure out what speaker in the car plays the frequencies that you're missing. Now, there's a chance that those frequencies might not exist, in which case you're going to need something to bring those frequencies back. Available right now today to solve a problem like that would be the Kicker key lock. The key lock has the ability to go in, read it, and DEQ that signal. So if you're looking at a signal that has no bass, it can go in and EQ that bass back into the signal and solve that problem. Eventually you'll be able to get an Epicenter Micro that will harmonically do it, but not the same. It'd be different but equal kind of thing, I guess. But if you can't find a speaker in your car that does put out the frequencies you're looking for, then I would strongly suggest getting the Kicker key lock. That will solve that issue for you. The Jeep is sounding nasty. Kudos to you both. And there you go. The gentleman that decided to do the sundown, like You asked what subs you want. He wanted 2 Sundowns with a salt 4.
Yeah.
And it assaulted his ears.
That was awesome.
Hey, man. Fat bottom girls make the world go round.
Woohoo!
Hola, Fernando. ¿Cómo va? Yeah.
¿Cómo?
I was good. I was good for a minute there. I almost sounded official. Hey, Dean, what's your favorite shallow sub? The one we use the most is definitely the Comp RT. However, if you can go square, that guy right there, the one that you can't really see, the Kicker L7T, is a beast for sure. If you like round, like I say, Comp RT is definitely the one we use the most. However, one of Fernando's favorite is the Rockford T1 shallow, as well as we've also heard and really enjoyed the ARC has their shallow mount woofer, which is really nice. There's a bunch of people that make shallow woofers now that are pretty awesome. What is it? Sound Mobile? Mobile Sound? What is it? Automobile makes a pretty nice shallow woofer. Oscar, that was here in the chat, just got done doing a big system with some of those in it. Ooh. That he was like, dude, these things rock. So cool. There's a bunch of them out there.
Yes. Flax.
Oh, the flax. Ooh, yeah, that's a budget killer. Don't forget, long pants this weekend. Not gonna happen.
I got him.
I'll be sitting at home with the heat on.
Got him.
I'm using an Ampro CH41. I'm guessing that was for the Chrysler one. So if we're using an Amp Pro and it's only when you're closing the passenger door, that doesn't make any sense at all. So in that car, you still got to hook the Amp Pro up behind the radio. The factory amplifier is located there. Man, that's a tough one. Because the feedback from that wouldn't have anything to do with that. Maybe... I mean, ground seems too obvious. You know, like there's a loose ground somewhere and it just happens to be by that door, and when you close that door, that doesn't make any sense now. Okay, you got me. Yeah, I would definitely have to dig deep into that one. That's one of those where you're just pulling parts. I'd be pulling stuff apart to figure out what the hell's going on. I mean, because you either got a loose RCA or bad ground.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing else makes any sense. Or nothing else makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Unless there's something weird on the amplifier that it still doesn't make any sense. Dean, Fernando, you guys are awesome. Love the videos. Thank you. Can't seem to find them ground zero uranium speakers for sale. Are you a dealer? We are a dealer. Keep in mind, we can send them. Doesn't matter who you buy them from. Yes, Paul can send them to. Their warranty as follows: you buy it, you own it. You break it, you own it.
You break it, you gotta buy a new one.
So they do not. There is no warranty to speak of on any of the ground zero stuff. Knowing that, if you'd still like to have them, they are awesome. They sound amazing. That's just their policy. You can give Paul a call, and he will be more than happy to ship them out to you. Moving on. What's up from California, y'all?
I like Cali.
All right, no, we will be in the 30s on Sunday, wearing long pants. I'm gonna be cold. Aw, poor Christian.
Oh, it's on Sunday.
That's on Sunday. I'll be inside. I got my RTA too. What's the next tool? Slow it down, killer. Slow it down. We've been bugging our engineer about that. We're still kind of on the fence. I don't. Let's sell some of these first, is kind of what I said to him. Because he's like, we got to start thinking about the next tool. And I was like, yeah, I know. I got to pay for this one first. You guys have a video on the art of harnesses. I've been watching your videos, and the way you pin and depin harnesses is badass. Ooh, that's one I've been meaning to make. We don't have a standalone version of it per se. We kind of just, that's always in the video. But I've been meaning to make a standalone version of that, but because my brain is just constantly, remind me the next time we do an iData harness, is that we'll go and I'll make just a standalone video of depinning and all that other fun stuff. So at least get you going on what we typically do. And that's a big harness, so that'll be cool. But yeah, no, that's a great idea. Thanks. Thanks for the reminder. Hey, and by the way, hold on. I got to read this tonight. The way to happiness is a common sense guide to better living. Makes sense, right? I don't know. It was sitting on the counter at work, and I was like, I'm just pissed right now. I'm going to take this. So.
Sure.
It was written by L. Ron Hubbard. You guys know who it's from?
Oh, yeah.
Moving on. Would you guys do a system in a kid's Power Wheel? All right, so here's the problem with the kid's Power Wheel. Yes, I would do a system in a kid's Power Wheel. Unfortunately, doing systems in a kid's Power Wheel is a great project you should take on with your kid at your house because it's god-awful expensive. Doing a Power Wheel, we've quoted out some jobs for people that were like, I want to do this. And it's like, dude, you're going to need a ton of stuff. It is not cheap. And then that kind of like, bummer. Yeah, that's a lot of money to spend on a Power Wheel. So keep in mind, you're still... It would be a better project to kind of tackle on your own and have some fun with than to pay someone like us to do it because, yes, it is going to be just ridiculously priced. And you could just have a lot of fun doing it yourself. I mean, it is definitely a DIY project. Can't wait to get with you guys. I'm almost at that point. Perfect. What's going on, Dean? From New York!
I like New York.
I mean, really... Today's just been a rough week. I'm not gonna lie. Missing Monday to hang out with my buddy Ada from Absolute Electronics in Rockville, Maryland. We hung out with his fam. Our fams all hang out. He's got kids. I have Haley. She's not a kid, but her kid, his daughter loves Haley, which is easy because she is lovable, as she tells me.
Yeah.
Constantly. I'm so lovable. I don't see what the problem is. I know, right? There was one more on the back seat.
Oh, yeah.
I got it. I'm just saying, I got this one here. Yep, there you go. Get them on there. But no, coming in and then just trying to remember what day of the week it is kind of freaking me out. And you didn't get videos Monday or Tuesday, which is funny because I've been holding the Instagram one because I didn't know if I was going to have to do an emergency release on it for tomorrow. But I am going to release it tomorrow. Just to get it out there because I know a lot of people really like watching or rewatching these videos in long form. So I will have that out. I'm going to so you get an IRTA 2 video tomorrow as well as the Instagram recap show. Which will look great in the analytics because that'll be 2 of those back to back, which will just, kill everything. But yay, go for it, YouTube, whatever works. Bobby says hi-fi. Yes, Bobby likes the Comp RTs. Arca Audio Slim Woofer. Yeah, those are really nice. All right, let's fast forward here. You made up for videos with uraniums. Yeah, they were fun. Can you adjust a Helix DAP with a Mac? DSP, I think is what you're trying to say, and the answer to that, unfortunately, is no, unless you're running something like Parallels. It is a Windows-based operating system. The Europeans really haven't figured that out yet, that they need to make things Windows Mac compliant. When you look at the 2 big guys that do, you have AudioControl and you have JL, both American-based companies. And those are really the only guys that are yeah, we're going to make everything, cool like that. I mean, I guess when you look at Rockford, they just went iPad, which to me drove me nuts. I was like, please stop doing that. Give me a laptop controller. I don't see any chargers in your shop. I know. It really breaks Fernando's heart because that's his favorite car. Although we do have one, a big one, coming up here in a couple months that we're going to be working on that we're definitely going to film. So stay tuned for that. Nando.
Yes.
How do your uranium sound?
Oh,
Looks damn sexy.
They sound amazing, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
0 gauge. Can I wrap it in foil to shield it from my signal wires?
What?
No.
What do you want to wrap it in?
He wants to wrap in aluminum foil. No, that's typically to act as a shield around the RCAs. I mean, technically, I think wrapping the RCAs would probably be a better idea.
Yeah.
But no.
I mean, if you have to do that, you definitely have problems.
Yeah, you got more problems. Before you try to do anything crazy like that, if you're getting some kind of feedback or whatever, make sure it's that and not anything else. What I would do is I would drape a set of RCAs from source unit to amplifier and see if any of the noise that you have goes away. If it doesn't go away, then that's not your problem. You might want to start looking elsewhere. Oh boy. Hi! I have Kenwood DDX 9907XR. Nice radio. It powers up, but on the screen it says to call customer service, which I did, and they were not able to help. Does anyone know how to pass that screen to add update? I don't know. I haven't seen that one yet. That is definitely a weird one. That's crazy. Yeah, that can't be good. I'd hate for you to have to take advantage of the 2-year warranty on that, but yeah, I honestly don't know. I mean, that would be a Seth question for sure, but what's up from Ohio? Howdy from Fort Worth. Do a 2008 Eddie Bauer Expedition have a factory amplifier? It does have a factory subwoofer. In a Ford, they have 3 different audio systems, and they've consistently done this throughout forever. The first one is obviously the basic radio that powers 4 speakers. The second one is that basic radio still powers 4 speakers, but they have an outboard amp for the subwoofer. And the third system, of course, is a premium audio, which is usually labeled by, let's say, JBL, Sony, BO, something like that. Back in 08, it would have been JBL, or possibly just say, like, something somewhere. And that system is a fully amplified system. Typically, you can figure this out by pulling the radio and just looking at the harnesses that are behind the radio. The Ford with just the sub amp is going to be easy. You can unplug it's just got its own plug on the back of the radio. And then you could tone the speakers from the radio to find out if it's a full amplified system or not. But you can do it all from behind the radio if you don't want to pull the whole car apart. Can you use a bass knob directly to amp, or does it go to the DSP, or it doesn't matter where it goes? Ooh. So, to answer that question, I prefer to not go through the DSP. I like to use the amplifier's bass knob. Most amplifiers come with them. It usually is just a bass knob, meaning it doesn't do anything silly. It's just straight volume up and down. So yeah, I prefer to use whatever comes with the amp as the bass knob and not use an external bass knob from the DSP. But that's just my thought. News tomorrow morning? Of course there'll be news tomorrow morning. Are you kidding me? I'm glad you asked. News tomorrow morning as always. Dean and Fernando's car stereo clip. Tomorrow is Friday. I know, right? It doesn't mean anything for us, but it means something for somebody. Yes, we'll be doing the news. As always, we've been back. This will be the 3rd week back, I think. Yeah, this will be the 3rd week back doing the news. Friday, 9 a.m., Dean and Fernando's car stereo clip is the channel. We'll be talking about all things car audio. We're super excited. I actually really like doing the news because it's our chance to kind of sit back, relax, and figure out what else is going on in the industry, and of course share that with you guys. So it is a lot of fun. Oh, Bobby's going to Disneyland tomorrow. Of course you are. Have y'all done a full system in the newer 2022 Ram F-150? Was Sajeki's a 2022?
Sajeki was 2022.
Yes, to answer the question, we did. And we did it here on Instagram, I think. And I think it's in the playlist, like a full system on a Ram. It was the big Ram with the super expensive Harman Kardon system.
That was a BO system.
Oh, it was a BO system? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, it was a BO system, he's telling me. I thought it was a Harman Kardon. No, it was a Harman Kardon, bro. They don't use BO. Ford uses BO. It was a Harman Kardon. I'm telling you, it was a Harman Kardon. Because I had to make the long thing to cover the Harman Kardon logo on the center of the grill. Either way, yes, to answer your question, we have with the big 3-way set. I believe it's amplified. No amp pro piece available. Will it have ANC? I'm told to go post amp into a DSP along with signal load resistors. It's a 2008. God, that's an old one. But no, man. Okay, so it's been a minute. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. definitely got an amp. So some of the older Ford systems like that were variable voltage output into the factory amplifier, and some of them weren't. 2008. All right, hold on. Amp Pro. Yeah, they don't make an Amp Pro to go back in 2008. Jeez. I don't remember that far back.
I don't think.
Because even that was a Sony system. Like the first ones were a Sony. And they do make an Amp Pro for that. But if they don't make an Amp Pro for it, that might not be fixed audio out. So I think you're going to have to do a little testing. I would... First off, it's 2008. Like maybe do a new radio would probably be a better ticket if you can. I know on some of those you can't. So I totally understand that. But if you could, I would definitely do that.
I mean, you can do the MFT one.
Oh well, they do. Yeah, the MFT2. They have the new MFT2 for the older ones.
There you go.
That's the new dash kit for the bigger screens that they used to have. If it had like the nav screen, iData came out with the MFT2 for those cars. Either way, I would do some testing to see if you have variable voltage before the amplifier, because on some of the older ones, they did have variable voltage going into the factory amplifiers, and that allows you to go pre-amplifier. But you will need a line driver because it is really low voltage. So depending on the DSP you get, you may need to get something like the AudioControl matrix to up the voltage into your DSP, because some of them can accept super low signals, some of them can. But I would test that first, because I don't want to go, if I can avoid going after that amplifier, I totally do, because I don't want to amplify that signal. It's going to suck. Now, if you're just doing a sub, that's fine. If you're doing full mids and highs, no, that's garbage. But I might check into a radio to see if you can do one of those, just because it's an old enough vehicle. I'm pretty sure there's some form of a dash kit for it. And yeah, I would hate to integrate into that. It's just not going to be great. Is running a 4-way active front end worth it? Do you have room for it? I mean, why not? I mean, if set up properly, why would you not do that? I mean, you can if you like. I'm not going to tell you no. Oh, what's up, guys? Love the work and video. Wondering if you guys ever get into doing custom enclosures. No. We're done with custom enclosures. I spent the first two-thirds of my career, because now we're going on 32 years. I spent the first 20 years of this job building custom enclosures, doing trunk. If you want to see some of the work that I still had pictures of, if you go, we have a playlist called Dean's Classic Car Audio Installs, which kind of shows some of the stuff that I did a long time ago. Probably at this point, 15, 20 years ago. But either way, I just got tired of it, man. It was just the huffing sawdust, and it sucks. And
build boxes.
Huh?
I used to build boxes.
Yeah.
I work for FedEx.
Yeah.
Building boxes.
No, I work for Domino's.
Exactly.
I work for Domino's. Anyways, so no, building boxes to me is just not fun anymore. I don't have any joy doing it, and it's not where I'm not saying I never will again, but right now in this location, to cut one piece of wood fills this whole install bay with sawdust.
Never build a box anymore.
Probably not. Actually, the last box I've ever built, we built it for the Camaro. We never did anything with it. It's sitting right there. That's it. That's the last box. We filmed the video on making that box, and we never published it. We never did anything with it. But that was the last enclosure I built. And then
I mean, you design boxes.
I design boxes all the time, but I have other people build them because it's way easier and it makes way more sense.
Lazy.
I am lazy. I have a 2021 Honda Accord. I installed an LCQ1. Nice. That'll work. Alright, hold on. But I get noise. What kind of noise? I'm guessing engine noise? And again, not a common thing to get noise. And that's actually one of the easier cars to do high-level input on. I would look into something else other than the LCQ1. I mean, time to check the install and figure out what the heck's going on, because Like, that car should not have noise at all. Hello, what will be better? Bridging my amps to my two-way components or bi-amp them? This is a question we get asked a lot. And, here's the best way to think of the answer to that is what is more important? Loudness or the ability to adjust the output? So cleanliness, not even cleanliness, just sound quality, I guess, would be the question. Not that you won't have it, but so if you bridge an amplifier and put it into a passive crossover, whether it's bi-amp capable or not, lots of power, lots of thrust, lots of awesomeness. We do it a lot. It's wonderful. However, it's just brutal. It's just a lot of just. Whereas if you bi-amp, it's obviously not going to be as loud. It's still going to be extremely loud, but now you get more control. So you can attenuate the tweeters if you need to. You can, usually it's just attenuating the tweeters because you're not going to up the mid bass. Let's say the mid bass isn't loud enough, you can turn the tweeters down, which will give the perceived louder mid bass. So you do get more control when you do bi-amp mode. Now, the nice thing about doing bridge mode is that yes, I hate this. It keeps going. Anyways, I was saying, if you ever decide to do a DSP, you're already set up and ready to go. You can slap, like, say, a Helix DSP Mini in there and rock on. Wow, we got, all right, I'm going to answer like 2 more questions here. As a guy who lost all hearing in one ear, I want you both to wear hearing protection. I'm fine with that. As far as my ears are already shot, I mean, I can hear out of both of them, but not greatly, and I suffer from tinnitus or tinnitus, whatever the hell it's called, where the constant ringing in your ears. Long time. So we don't really do anything now as opposed to when I was younger that hurts our ears like it did back then. We don't do like super loud systems. We're not doing anything brutal, and we don't sit in the car long enough to affect our hearing the way I did when I was younger. So, and I don't listen to it loud in my car. So we're much smarter now than I was when I was younger. So yeah. But thank you. Hey Dean, do you think a high output alternator is recommended for the Terra amps? Factory 220 amp alternator and second battery currently. I don't think it matters what amps you have. If you want to increase the power flow to said amplifier, then the only way to do that is with a bigger alternator. Power is what makes loudness. The more power you give it, the louder it is. So if by swapping out to a bigger alternator gives you more power, that's going to give you more loudness. So yeah, why not? If you can do it, do it. Bit of advice for alternators. For one, figure out how to do it yourself, because when it breaks, you're going to need to put your factory one back in. It will break. There's no question, it will break. So you're going to need to be able to swap that on a Sunday so you can be to work on Monday, unless you just got like friends and that, or 2 cars. So if you're going to do any form of an alternator upgrade, figure out either how to do it yourself, or you better have the guy and be ready for an Uber. Not saying it's going to happen like right away, but soon. Sign that box and auction it off. No. But yeah, I mean, we might use it in something. Hell, it might even fit in the Mustang. You never know. All right, guys, that's it. Make sure to join us tonight. Hi-Fi Vega. We'll be doing reverse polarity, and of course, stay for the after party where we head over to Side Jag and we're going to talk about Do the Right Thing, along with a bunch of other nonsense that we. Pay attention.
Yes, to well tuning. What to look for your turn when customers give you some sense feedback keywords.
Okay. I mean, sounds good.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You excited?
I'm signing in.
You signing in?
Signing in.
All right, good. I'm not. What's up, Morel? Oh, excuse me. Good day, everyone, and welcome to 5 Minutes of 5-Star. Today we're working on a 2018 Nissan Frontier. There we go. Got it right.
It's not a Pathfinder?
No, Pathfinder's an SUV. This is a Frontier. It's a pickup truck. Very similar, just no back end.
Yep.
Hi from the UK. What's
Hey.
happening? Good afternoon from Chicago. We have snow. Want some? I mean, not really. So check it out. This is a Nissan Frontier where I'm at the halfway point of my part of the installation, and Fernando is almost at the halfway point of his part of the installation. What he is currently doing right now is finishing up that last door right there, which that one we'll go take a look at in a second. What I finished up is, well, I guess we should backtrack a little bit and tell you what's going into it. It is getting a full Morel system. So we're doing some Maximo 6.5 coaxials in the rear, and of course that big, luscious, oh my god, Morel Tempo Ultra 6x9 in the door. Ooh, god, look at this. This thing is so big. This is one of the cars that does fit in. The reason why I really wanted to go with this speaker above anybody else's is because this does have a tremendous amount of mid-bass. It just has a great sound to it, and the only thing we're doing for subwoofer, because all he wanted was 110, is what is this? This is like audio. I can't even think of who makes this. Make their 110 box, and we're putting a Comp RT10 into it. Audio Engineering's, I think, makes this AE, and it's cool, but this is way too thin, so you actually have to build something to lift this up a little bit, so that the woofer, obviously, yeah. Anyways, so this is the woofer that's going in on the passenger side. There's this cool little tray that goes there, and so that is going to go here in this area. And he's finishing up this door. The tweeter's already put in, lasered some panels, those dropped right into place, and we ran wires from the tweeters to the dash, because this actually uses a crossover like this. And audio enhancers, yes, thank you. And so they are mounted right down there. So these are the two Morel crossovers. As you can see, here's like the dash. They're way down in there. These are the tweeter wires that come in and whatnot. All the wires are also capped off. They don't make a harness for the factory backup retention, but Metra makes the plug you need. It's just pinned wrong. It's actually pinned kind of backwards. The camera on it is on this side. It needs to be on this side. So I don't know the part number for it. I think it's like a 406, which is cool because you can just repin it, plug it back in. It comes with the 6-volt adapter and all as well. We use the Maestro SW steering wheel control interface, which is cool because we can reprogram these buttons to do anything we want with that real easy, and then it just works. The steering wheel controls for this are on the main harness, so if you're going to do one of these, buy 2 of these harnesses so you can pull those 3. So you can pull the 3 steering wheel wires out of it and attach them, and here repin those in. Makes life so much easier. So that was getting this front area done here. This whole front end was my task for this afternoon. So tweeters went in, wires went in, radios all done, mounted into the kit. So this is the radio here, all set and ready to go back in. Tip number 1, guys, if you're doing anything Nissan and the airbag is attached to whatever you're taking out of the car, pull that light out. You will get an airbag light on a Nissan if you turn the key on with the airbag light, not plugged in. Just a light. It's just a light. So if you rummage through here, you'll find this is the light. This will keep that airbag light from coming on. You can reset it with the key or with a programmer, but why? Just like one screw comes out, you're good. Next task for me is going to be underneath the seat. We have to mount the amplifier. It's going to go there. It's nice because this little area right here is going to be perfect for the amplifier. We've put them there before. And we have this guy right here, the 802.5. Is going to be running the sub in the front and rears. This is the factory speaker bracket, which is really nice. It uses a metal basket 6x9. I mean, how does this? This is the weirdest that they still did this in 2018. The rears, as you can see, are all jacked up, and they're going to need the brackets, which we have. Both Pack and Metro make brackets for this, so it's really cool. But the 6x9 is just an old school 6x9, which is really awesome, and it's a deep 6x9, which is why those Tempo Ultras go in there and sound wonderful. It's so nice. Would you agree, Fernando?
Yes, I agree.
Oh, well, there you go. Fernando agrees. Hey, Fernando.
Hey.
It does have a factory USB that we are able to retain, which it uses the Pack makes what's called the GM1 USB. So this is here, and here it is, right here. It's hanging right at the top. We always put shrink wrap over the connection. Now, iData makes a better version of this that will actually clip into place. But for some reason, we get this one, so we always have to put shrink wrap on it to hold it in place so it doesn't fall apart. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that's what's going on here today. Pretty excited. Look at the old new Frontier, right? Hey, visiting Florida in a few weeks. Any chance I could bring an amp cover to sign? Love your stuff. If we're going to be here, of course. The only days we're not going to be here is the 17th. So that's like a Thursday. So the 17th, 18th, 19th. We don't get back until Tuesday. So that's the only time we won't be in here in February. But otherwise, yeah, you're more than welcome to stop by. Hi, guys. Thanks again for the Real Deal Tour. Oh, you bet. No problem. It's always fun to talk about what's going on in the car. Hi, guys. This is the first time I've seen you do a Nissan SUV. You ain't kidding, man. We don't do a lot of these. It's not a hugely popular car here in Florida. Even though I own one, like Sue owns and drives a Nissan, the Rogue. It's her second one, but yeah, we just, the Titan, is it the Nissan Titan? Titans don't sell at all down here, man. Like, I was talking to the Nissan guy, and he's like, dude, we can't get those things off the lot. And actually, I think this guy said he bought this just because Toyota wants so much for their trucks. He's like, I couldn't see spending it. So, which is fine. Now, a lot of the older ones, we did a lot of older ones, because every time that was one, like, we have to, like, freak out because the dash is made out of, like, eggshells, and, like, this area here would always crack, which is scary as hell. And especially, like, the top piece would crack to try to get to this screw. Tip. But anyways, yeah. So Fernando's getting the door all quieted down, making it less vibratey sounding. Who caught the news this morning? If you didn't, make sure you go and check the news. I mean, if anything, it was just fun to have the news. Right now, the news is a bit weak.
Let me show you this.
You got something?
Yeah, I got something to show.
All right. Ooh, there is one cool thing that we did announce on the news last night. I was going to say, you took a screenshot?
Of course.
I was just thinking that. So for those of you guys who have been waiting to order your Epicenter Micro, when you go to order, use promo code 5-star free hat. That's right. Use promo code 5-star free hat, just like you see there on the screen, the number 5-star free hat. And if you're going to order an Epicenter Micro from AudioControl, that's right, when you go to their website, audiocontrol.com, and you go and you click on the Epicenter Micro and you select the pre-order tab, and it's going to, at the end, it's going to say promo code, type in 5-star free hat, and they'll automatically add a hat to your invoice, and that's it. So we told you guys to wait, and this is why. So if you're a hat guy like myself who likes to wear hats, I know I don't ever wear them in the video, but it's on purpose, because that way when I'm on the weekends I always have a hat on. No one ever recognizes me, so it's just fun. Not that anyone would recognize me anyways. unless it's like 1 o'clock and a house of pancakes. I told you about that, right? After whatever show we went to. Oh, Jesus, I think it was after Kiss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're in the house. We go in a, House of Pancakes there. And the guy's like, dude, you're Dean from 5 Star. And I'm like...
The Waffle House?
No, not the Waffle House. The
What?
Pancake House. There's a difference.
Waffle House?
No, they're totally different, man. Don't confuse IHOP, International House of Pancakes, with Waffle House, because those are 2 different houses. Yeah,
Two different houses.
Those are 2 different houses, and that is a house divided. Still waiting for a Durango install. I'm tired of doing mine. Actually, it's funny you should mention that. I just booked one yesterday for probably April or May. But yeah, we won't talk about that one right now. But yeah, we have one coming. Pro tip of the day. I thought I gave you one. Did I give you a pro tip of the day?
Yes.
Run your own tweeter wires. I'll have to think. I did the news. It was great. Thank you. Tip: don't buy a Nissan Renault. Hey, listen. I used to actually own a Renault. My second car, my first real car, so to speak, after high school or in high school. First car I ever owned was a 1980 Dodge Omni. Biggest piece of crap ever. Paid $900 for it. I had it for about maybe 6 months or a year. I don't remember. It got me where I needed to go, which led me to the next car, and I bought a Renault Encore, which I think was probably an 83, 86, something like that. I think it was an 86 Renault. Yeah, it was an 86 Renault Encore. Red, GS, had rims, big stripe, real nice. And that was what I built my first stereo in, and went into extreme debt just to keep it on the road. Yeah, it was a great time. I loved it. Had a sunroof. Oh, it was fun. Most comfortable seats in a car ever. Listen to Fernando talking about punching bag alarms. Reminds me of smoke bombs some alarm companies came up with. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There was one that had a smoke machine you could put up underneath the passenger seat that was designed to fill your cab with smoke. When the alarm went off, it just so you couldn't see inside the car.
That is nice. There you go.
Yeah, or to make people think that you burned the car to the ground. Tommy, who? Who? Yep, him. 2011 CTS Coupe. Speaker swap suggestions for it. Hope you're going to do an amp swap too. But there again, it's kind of an all or nothing deal unless it's the base model audio. But yeah, there's a ton to choose from. I see Rockford Fosgate free hat also. That would be nice, but no, they don't. I think the 3. All right, so here's my 5-star free hat, bro. Slow down. Like there's 2 5-star hats in existence right now. So yes, we know everyone wants hats. We've known that for years.
You're gonna get a hat.
I hate trucker hats, and that's really the only hat we can do through Teespring is a trucker hat. So
everybody can get a hat as soon as they buy an Epicenter Micro.
Yeah, exactly. I think hats are a cool idea. Because there's no discounts right now. There's legit no discounts.
No, what will you ask for?
But a hat is cool. I'll take a hat. I'm a sucker for swag, so something like a hat or a shirt. I don't want a shirt though. I like a hat. I like pens, even though I don't really use them much. Keychains are cool. Honestly, I don't even know why I said that. This is the first time I've actually had a keychain for my car key. Okay. Is the Morel keychain that Natasha sent us. Mm-hmm. I have the Camaro never had a key. Yeah. For all 200 years I had the car. Yeah. And I don't need a keychain for the Mustang either because it's all it doesn't even ever have to leave my pocket. But there is a Morel keychain on it because it was just such an awesome keychain that they made. I was like, all right, well, shit, I'm going to use a keychain. I have a 2007 Escalade with factory Bose. My screen buttons don't work. Any idea what's going on? Sounds like you got a bad screen. It's 2007. These things break. You can have the screen repaired if you like. However, if it's 2007, there's interfaces galore that will allow you to replace it and tie into the factory Bose system and do everything you need it to do. They make a really nice dash kit for that now. So I see no reason in getting it repaired. I would just replace it. Yeah. Don't do it, Fernando. IHOP is not the same as Waffle House. See? I told you.
I get it.
I know. A hat or 5 or 10% off.
No.
It's still gonna be a hat. It's still gonna be a hat. You know, I get it, but I think the hat's a much better area. Have you done an M3 E46 amp install? Honestly, I don't know. We've done M3s. We've done 3 series. I don't. The E46, which I'm assuming yes. Oh, is that what you had? I just says an E46.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Is that what you had, an E46? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't speak BMW. If it was what you had, we've done tons of them.
Oh, we've done tons of it.
I have friends with a. I have a friend with a. Oh, I have a friend.
You have a friend of a
I have
friend?
a friend with a drug problem, but I myself am fine. With a 2010 Acura TL, is having a hard time finding replacement speakers. Any idea? I mean, there are thousands upon thousands of replacement speakers to go into these cars. It's a Honda, even though it's an Acura. They're all the same speaker.
Yeah, I mean,
where you run into the problem is if it's a factory amplified system. No one does a good job at making like 2 ohm or half ohm or 1.5 ohm speakers that are just going to plug and play into that thing. It's 2010. It's 12 years old. Even on a brand new car, very, very few cars have plug and play speakers for them. If you're looking for something that's going to mount into it fairly easily, you're going to want a shallow speaker because Hondas typically are shallow speakers. The shallowest, best sounding speakers that come to mind when I think that are like probably in line with what I'd want to spend on a 2010 would be like some Kicker KS. You know, those will go right in. You won't have to cut any metal. You won't have to do anything too difficult. I have a 2018 4Runner. Gonna run an LC7i into a DQDX. Why? Then Alpine amp. I know there is an easier way, but it's equipment I have. Okay. Do you see any issues? Other than just trying to find places to put all the boxes, no, you should be fine. It'll work. How did the DB drive amp perform in the F-150 you did earlier? Fernando?
Fine. Everything was perfectly fine. How?
It was actually in the truck for a while. So he finally got the box the way he wanted it, and now it was time to have it all installed properly.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, because he'd already paid for installation once, so now he wanted it. Now that he knew a little bit more and was like, oh, okay, I've done some investigating, I've figured out some things, you know.
Yeah.
But no,
I mean, it sounded really good. Yeah.
Good times.
Always a good time.
My wife grew up at the original Pancake House. 2000 CTS coupe with Bose speaker and amp suggestions, factory radio. There again, CTS coupe with Bose speakers. I believe Metro makes a dash kit for that to put a radio in there. Okay, so there's like 3 different Bose systems for that car. You have to figure out which one you had because there was a digital Bose system, there was an analog into the Bose system, and then there was another one that I don't remember what the difference was. But when replacing the dash kit, there's all these different things you have to check with the Bose amplifier and how you're going to integrate into it. So that is going to tell you, it's one of those things where you're going to have to figure out what you actually have. Some of those are analog directly into the factory Bose system. The ones that are super easy to upgrade because it's literally just a variable voltage, solder on some RCAs, plug it into an amplifier and go. And at that point, you just got to figure out how many speakers you want to do in the car. If you want to do a set of components, passive or active. I mean, it's a CTS, so it's a tweeter in the dash, a mid bass in the door, some 6x9/coaxes in the rear deck. It's 8 channels of power from the factory with a center channel. You don't have to retain the center channel, but it just depends, So it's up to whatever the car has. You're going to need to do some investigating. Fernando's working hard. He's trying to catch up. It's trying to catch up. You know, phase 2 is right around the corner. 2015 F-150 with basic stereo. Is the 6x9 and tweeter on the same channel? Asking because I'm putting in R-type components on front, and I want to know if I have to run the tweeters on a separate channel. No, you do not have to do anything like that. They are on the same channel, which is fine because you're doing an R-type, which means it's going to come with the candy bar style crossovers, which means it's a 2-piece crossover. It comes with a crossover from the mid-bass. Put in the mid-bass, hook up its crossover. It might actually be built into the speaker on that one. And then the tweeter comes with this crossover, and you hook it up and you're done. You don't have to do anything special. Go behind the radio, grab the 4 wires, or 4 pairs of wires, run them back to the amp, and you're all set. Straightforward, pretty normal installation. Got Morel over 2 602s in the front and rear. Looking to get a DSP. Suggestions? I mean, don't get me wrong, big fan of audio control. Things you have to keep in mind when deciding on a DSP. There are tons of DSPs now at all different price points. The more money you spend, the better the DSP will be, hands down. There's no, it's all chips. It's all chips and software. Fortunately, everyone gives you the ability to download their software. If you're a Mac guy like myself and you want to use your Mac computer, that's 2. That's JL Audio, the Tweak, and that's AudioControl with the any of the AudioControl stuff. If you're a Windows user, well, the world is your oyster. You can use whichever DSP you want, but I still suggest downloading the software and playing with it. And if you're an iPad guy, the only one that really does that really well, is Rockford. And they're really hard to find right now, so. Well, there you go. Helix or AudioControl are in my wheelhouse. Perfect. Pick one. You'll do no wrong.
Yeah.
You appreciate it. We were glad to help. All right, guys, listen. We're going to cut this one right about here. I got to get back to work. Any thoughts on Infinity DSP? It's a great little... I'm going to call it a toy because it's really not... It's not a big DSP. It's kind of my first DSP almost. But that's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. The JBL 8-channel was a really cool little DSP amp. That there again, it was a great my first DSP. The other 2 that we mentioned, way better as far as that goes. All right, guys, listen, we got to go. Tomorrow is Saturday night. Make sure to tune in tomorrow night. We'll answer more of your questions. You can catch that on 5-Star Car Stereo, the YouTube channel. And, of course, make sure you head over to AudioControl at AudioControl.com. Order your Epicenter Micro. Type in the promo code, the number 5-star free hat. And you'll get a free hat from AudioControl. All right, guys, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, don't forget, IRTA 2. Make sure you pick one up. DNF Tool Drawer.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.